good evening, people. I hope I'm audible now. Can you guys please confirm? Yes? Okay. So we will wait for some couple of minutes so that everyone joins. Am I audible? Hello, good evening. Okay, fine then. So let me start sharing my screen. So can you guys quickly tell me what we have studied in the last class? I hope the screen is visible to you people. Yes? Okay. So in the last session, we discussed about web scraping, right? Wherein we discussed what is web scraping, how to implement the web scraping, how to extract basically the data from the website, right? And then we saw one Google Colab notebook also, wherein we wrote a Python program to extract the data from the website. I hope everyone has done this. Anybody has any doubts here? Yes? Okay. So in today's session, we are going to start with EtherCAT. We are going to study one more new tool, that is EtherCAT. So what is this EtherCAT? Let us try to understand. So this EtherCAT is a free and open source network security tool. Okay, for man-in-the-middle attacks on LAN. It is basically used for computer network protocol analysis and security auditing. It runs on various Unix operating systems, including Linux, Mac OS, XBSD, Solris, and on Microsoft Windows. EtherCAT can snip network traffic, capture passwords, etc. Okay, so we need to study about this so that we become aware of it, right? So now first let us try to understand what is this man in the middle attack. Before understanding, see, this is one tool using which we are going to do the network security thing, right? But here this we are going to achieve using man in the middle attack on LAN. But what exactly is this man in the middle attack? But before understanding this man in the middle attack, we will understand something called as ARP poisoning. We are going to do this. Okay, in EtherCAT, we are going to study about ARP poisoning. So what exactly is this ARP poisoning? Or what is ARP poisoning? Let us try to understand. So for that, let me just draw some images here. Let's say this is my system. Let's say there are two systems here. Bear with my drawing, okay guys? So let me just draw out a few things. let's say these are the two systems which are connected on the same internet. Let's say here I have switches. Here is my router. Okay, I'm drawing. My drawing is not that good. I want you people to bear with my drawing. Okay, try to draw something similar. Not exactly. So this is my router, and let's say this is the server side. Okay, so this side, let's say we have something called as a server. Now, before understanding what exactly is this ARP poisoning, let us first understand what is ARP. What does ARP stand for? Okay, so ARP stands for Address Resolution Protocol. What does ARP stand for? It stands for Address Resolution Protocol. Now let us see how it works. Let us first understand how this address resolution protocol works. Basically, ARP or ARP is basically used to discover MAC addresses. So what is the purpose of this ARP? It is used to discover the MAC address. It is used to discover the MAC addresses. And then using this MAC address, it is going to map them to an associated IP address. IP address. Correct? So now see, let's say here I have two hosts. Let's say this is nothing but host A and this is host B. Let's say this is my host A with some IP address. Let me give one IP address, sample IP address I give here as let's say 192. I'm writing it randomly. Okay, it need not be this one. I'm just giving a sample example. 169.1.1. Let's say this is the IP address of this particular host A, and this is the IP address of host B. These two systems are connected to the same network. Okay, and here we have the server. Let's say towards this side, I have my server. Okay, let's say now this is my router. Okay, this will also have an IP address. Let's say the IP address here of this particular router is 169.1.254. Okay. So here basically what we are doing, I have drawn a. Is the voice clear to everyone or it is echoing for everyone? Is the voice proper? It is clear. Akshay, please check your internet connection. It is clear for others. Okay. Now coming back to the topic. So what I was saying, here I have two networks. Okay. Two systems which are connected to the same network. Now let's say host A wants to find the MAC address of the default gateway. Which is the default gateway here? The default gateway is our router in our case. So what it will do? It will broadcast a message now. Host A is going to broadcast a message saying that it will give this particular IP address, that is 192.169.254. It will broadcast a message saying he wants to know what is the MAC address of this particular router. It will broadcast this message to the entire network. Now you can observe, to this particular network one more host is connected, which is B. So now when B looks at this particular message, what B will say, I do not know about the MAC. This is not the IP address. Okay, this is not my IP address, and he is requesting the MAC address of this particular IP address. So I do not know. So it will discard this message. Right? Then this message was sent to B as well as to the router. So now when the router sees this, what it will do? It will realize that it is asking for its MAC address. So now it will respond back to A. Initially, what happened? A sent a request, broadcasted a message asking for the MAC address. So now this particular router is going to respond back saying that my MAC address is so and so. Okay. Let's say the MAC address is some hexa value. Right? Some hexa values. So I'll not give that. I'll just write XX. Till here it is clear. Till here is it clear to everyone? Yes? Should I repeat once? Okay, fine. See here what I'm saying. We are studying about address resolution protocol. So basically now you can see, to this particular network, let's say you have a Hathway connection in your house. So now what happens, you will be connecting a number of systems to it, right? Let's say you are connecting to that network. Let's say your dad is connecting to that network, one more PC is there, so a number of PCs will be connected to that network, right? So now what happens, all these are under one network, so they will have their own IP addresses, correct? So now let's say whenever this host A wants to access the server, it has to go through this default gateway. In our case, the default gateway is a router. So what, when he wants to send the request, right, he wants to access the server, when he wants to get some information, what it is going to do, he will be checking for this default gateway's MAC address, and that is done using address resolution protocol. So what he will do, he will broadcast a message. He knows the IP address of this particular router, so it will ask him, what is your MAC address? So when B, this message will be sent to everyone, whoever is connected to this network, right? To everyone, that message will be gone. When B sees that message, what B will think? Oh, this message is not for me, right? So he will discard this particular message. But this router, when he sees this IP address, it will tell, okay, he is requesting my MAC address. So he will respond back by sending his MAC address to this host A. So host A will now will store these values. What A is going to do? Host A is going to now store these values in one app cache. What is app cache? In one table called as ARP cache. In this particular memory, cache memory. Okay, he is going to store that information corresponding to this IP address here, that is corresponding to this IP address, that is 192.169.254. 69.1.254. So in this particular table, right, he is going to store the information corresponding to this IP address. He will store the MAC address of this particular gateway. Clear? Till here, is it clear, Pradeep? So this is nothing but your ARP cache. Okay, this is called as ARP cache also. So most of the people pronounces it as ARP cache. We will see this, not to worry. We will see this practically also. Right? Just a second. Okay, so here no problem. So what is happening? The information is stored here. Now let's say this B, in this person who is using this system, is an evil hacker. Now I will write here EH. EH stands for evil hacker. Now let's say this person is an evil hacker. Now he wants to steal your information. He wants to check what data are you sending, right? So through this gateway, you are sending some information and you are receiving some information. I want to steal that information. So what this hacker is going to do now? This hacker is going to now come in middle. Let me just duplicate this. Now, when you send the message, right, broadcast message to know the MAC address of your router, what this evil hacker is going to do? He is going to respond. He is going to send messages to this host A, saying that he is the router. He is the default gateway. So now what will happen? See, the message was sent here also, and the message was also sent to this system B as well. But if this person is not a hacker, he will discard it. But if he is a hacker, now what he'll do? He will start responding back. He will respond to A back. And now what will happen? He will send his MAC address. This MAC address will now belong to whom? To the hacker. So what is happening? The hacker is now coming in between. Now let me just delete these things. So now this particular hacker is coming in between you and the gateway. So this person who is coming in between you and your server and your router is nothing but the man in middle. I hope you're getting it. He has come in between so that he can access your information. Now your information will be passed through this person. I hope you're getting it. So this concept is called as man in the middle attack. Clear? Everyone is clear with this term? What is man in the middle? So here, this person's idea is what? This person's idea is to poison the host A's ARP cache. He is going to poison this by sending his MAC address. So that this host A should think that this is the MAC address of the router. But actually, whose address is it? It is the address of this hacker. I hope you're getting it. See, whenever this host A wants the router's MAC address, what happens? He will broadcast one message saying that whose IP address is this? Can you please send your MAC address? We will come to that point as well, Chakradhar. So using that only, the traffic will be going on here. So this person, the ethical hacker person, not ethical hacker, sorry, evil hacker. This is an evil hacker. I only got confused. Let me write only there. Evil hacker, what he is going to do? He is going to send some messages, crafted app messages to the host, pretending to be the default gateway, so that he can poison this memory, app cache memory of host A by sending its MAC address. So that when he is going to send any request, it is going to send via whom? It is going to be sent via this evil hacker's system. I hope you're getting it now. So using the MAC address, you will identify the machine as well. Clear? I will be informing about the books and all that information regarding your ICSO exam at the end, Shagun. Okay, not to worry about that. See here, Chakradhar. If using this this MAC address only, right? You will be going directly to the router. Whenever you're sending any data, the data will be sent directly to this route. But when the evil hacker comes into picture, your data is now transmitted through him, right? So now what we need to do? How is this happening? Right? How the hacker can now do all the snooping with our data before sending it to the real default gateway. This attack is known as man in the middle attack. I hope this is clear to everyone. Any doubts? See, if this question comes in your exam, you should be able to explain. You can just draw this diagram also, not only here in your MCQ exam, but if you're writing some other exams also, you can explain this. If it comes for short answers like for 2 marks, 3 marks, something like that, then you can draw this diagram and explain. You cannot do it in MCQs for sure, but in other exams, you can draw it like this so that it can give a clear cut picture about it. Okay. Now that we have understood this, now theory part is over. Let's see some, practical things. Okay, some people have doubt. Today is the last lecture. No, Pradeep. We have two more lectures that will be on Saturday and Sunday. Okay. Now our next lecture will be on Saturday. Timings will be updated to you in your WhatsApp group. We have two more lectures. Saturday we will have 2 hours class, and Sunday as well we will have 2 hours class. Fine. So now what I will do, I will open my command prompt. Let me just do one thing. Close everything and reopen it. No, you do not have any exam on Saturday. The exam dates are postponed, Shagun. Your exam will be in the month of December. Dates will be updated to you in the WhatsApp group. Fine. So let me open the command prompt here. Now I want to check the IP address and the default gateway. So to do this, what should I do? Can you tell me what I should do for to check the IP address of my machine? What I have to do? Which is the command that is used to know the IP address? Very good. Here I have to use ipconfig. Ipconfig. Okay. So here you can observe my IP address of my machine is this, which is 1.47, and the default gateway. Can you observe here you have the IP address of your default gateway. In our case, right, whatever I have explained you, there it is your router. So here you can observe it is 192.168.1.1, right? Now, let's say I want to see the ARP cache. ARP means ARP. Okay, I'm pronouncing it as ARP. So let's say I want to check the ARP cache. So what I will do, I will write here ARP. Please make a note. In order to see your ARP cache, you can type this command. That is ARP-A. Let me just minimize this window and type in here as well. Command to view ARP cache is ARP-A. The moment I press enter, I will be getting a number of information here. So here you can observe what is our gateway IP address. Default gateway is 192.168.1.1. So go for that. So this is the physical address, or this is the MAC address of this particular machine. Sorry, not machine, of our router. Agree? Pavan, are you connected to the internet? Please check properly. It should come. I hope you're doing it in the Windows command prompt. You're getting it? See, I have opened the command prompt here. Please do it in the command prompt. So here you can observe this is our MAC address of our gateway, which is D6. So remember this, okay? This is nothing but the MAC address of our gateway. This is our default gateway's IP address and the associated MAC address, which is D6. So everything is working as it should, okay? Now let us introduce our hackers machine. Which is our hackers machine that we are going to use? We are going to use Kali Linux. This is our hackers machine. So let me just type in my password. Okay. Now here what I have done, I have already opened the terminal. People who have doubts opening the terminal, see, when you right click, here also you can open the terminal. This is another way of opening the terminal. Right click and here there will be an option for open terminal. You can do that as well, or else you can open the terminal from the top left corner. Just click on this and you will can see that the terminal is open for you. Now let's say here also I want to know the information about the IP address. So now what I will do, I will write here if config. For Linux, the command is going to be if config. Let me just zoom in. Okay, the command is going to be if config. Just press enter. Now this is the IP address of this particular machine, virtual machine, and this is the MAC address of it. Now remember the MAC address of this. The MAC address is here is BC, right? Clear? So this is the MAC address of our machine. Okay, virtual machine, that is BC. This you have to remember. BC is for this thing. For Windows, it is D6. If I'm not wrong, just check. Yeah, D6 is for Windows. The last number you can remember. So I'm just checking the IP address using ifconfig and ifconfig. In the Kali Linux also I'm doing the same thing, and in your Windows also I'm doing the same thing. So if I have to repeat again, let me write only and show it to you. Which I have connected to a Wi-Fi connection. So this is my IP address. Let me just copy this. For Windows, IP address is this. Okay. and the default gateway. You can write default DG also. Okay, choice is yours. This is the IP address for it. Copy it. This is our default gateway. Now, when we open this particular command in Windows, what we got? We will know the IP address. We will know the IP address and the MAC address of our gateway, of default gateway. DG stands for default gateway. Okay. Let me write here as DG so that you don't get confused. This is in Windows. Okay. Now we went to our Kali Linux. So in Kali Linux, this is our IP address. I'm just telling you to remember this, okay, so that later on you can be able to track it. Just like in movies, right? They will show you one character and then they will reveal the details of that character later. So you should know. So that is why I just told you to remember this D6 and all those things. Okay, same thing got copied. Let me go back. Control C. Copy the selection. Come here. Paste it. This is the IP address of my Kali Linux machine. And I'll write here the MAC address of it, okay? So that it will be easy for us to check later on. Selection. Fine. Now, what I will do, I'll go to the Kali Linux background. Now I want to open the Ettercap thing. It is okay, Prathamesh. It is going to be different. Okay. It need not be same. See what MAC address I'm getting. It need not be same for you people. It can be different. It is perfectly fine. So MAC addresses are also different for different devices. Your IP addresses are may or may not be same. Okay. Since we are connected to different networks, IP address may or may not be the same. Fine. So now we will open our Ettercap tool. So to open the Ettercap tool, what we are going to do, click on this Kali. Can you see this icon of Kali? So as I said, this Ettercap is an open source. Okay, it is free version. It comes auto downloaded in your Kali Linux. So here if I type Ettercap, can you see Ettercap graphical? Just click on this. The moment you click on this, it will ask you for authentication. Write your Kali password only. Okay. So now you can see I have opened an Ettercap. So here, let me write, after doing this setup, what you have to do, let me write here steps for Ettercap. Go to Kali icon. Okay. Write Ettercap graphical. So the moment you click on Ettercap graphical, that particular Ettercap will be opened. Now here you have to do some settings. Settings is what you have to set your primary interface to Ethernet. Okay, ETHO. Or if you have Wi-Fi, change it to Wi-Fi. Okay. Now, the moment you do this, what you have to do? You have to click on this accept icon. This click is there, right? Towards the top right corner. This is accept. So you have to click on this. Let me write here. Go to the Kali icon, Ettercap graphical. Now, once you open the EtherCap, okay, do some settings. Do the primary setting. Let me go back what it is. Primary interface to set the primary interface to ETO or Wi-Fi, whatever is there for you. Okay, then okay, I'll do one thing. I'll write the steps later. First, let us do it. You set it to Ethernet or Wi-Fi, whatever is there in yours, you set it. Now, then click on this accept icon. The moment you click on accept icon, you can see EtherCap has started. This tool has started. So basically here you will be having a number of options, guys. So you can observe here it is telling MITM. What is this? Man in the middle menu. You can change it for Wi-Fi also, Ujjwal. Okay, since it is ETH, actually it should be Ethernet itself, because in your Kali Linux, no, there is no Wi-Fi option. Even if you have connected to Wi-Fi, it will be connected to Ethernet. Now see, I have connected to a Wi-Fi network, but in this machine that is being converted to a wired connection, because here there is no Wi-Fi chipset. Okay, coming back to the topic. What I was saying, here towards the top right corner, you have a number of options. This is EtherCap menu. Then here I have stop MITM. This is man in the middle. Okay. Here also we have man in the middle menu, right? And towards the left side, you will be having something called as start or stop sniffing. What is the term? What is the word sniffing mean here? Can you tell me what is sniffing? And then here we have a number of things like scan for host, host list, and so on. Can you tell me what do you mean by sniffing? To collect the information. Correct, Alexander. See, if I have to tell in terms of technical terms, sniffing is nothing but monitoring and intercepting data packets passed through a network with the help of specialized tools called as packet sniffers. Okay, it is also called as sniffing. You can make a note of it. Okay, I'll add that definition later. I hope it is clear. Monitoring and intercepting data packets passed through a network is known as sniffing. That you do with the help of one tool. So here we are using the tool as EtherCap, right? Searching and capturing the data. So now what we are going to do here is that we are going to go to the top right corner in the EtherCap menu. Can you see here? In this EtherCap menu, we are going to scan for host. Click on host. Then here there is an option which says scan for host. The moment you scan for host, can you see here something is happening? Down. Just pull it up. Scroll it down. Now you can see there are 5 hosts added. So here basically there are 5 systems which are connected to my network. Okay, so that is why I'm getting 5 hosts. So let's say you want to list them. Let's say you want to list those particular hosts. So what you can do, just go in the EtherCap menu, click on host, host list. So here you will get the host list. Just scroll it down. You can observe. I'm getting 5 hosts here. So this will display all the IP addresses. Now you can select from this whichever you want. Right? Now, see, who is my victim here? Who's inform from where I want to take the information? I want to take the information from the router. Agree? So this one, 1.1 is our router. Yes? 1.1 is the default gateway router. So this one we want to full. And then we want to, now you want to take the data from this particular Windows, right? From Windows, whatever websites I'm going to open, right? From there, I'm going to extract the data. So this will be my victim 2. So this is my host, right? This is going to be my host, like just like host A. And this machine is nothing but the hacker. So now what I'm going to do? I'm going to add it to the network. I'll first select this. So what is the IP address of my this thing, Windows? What is the IP address of the Windows? 47, right? So this will be my victim 1. 47. This will be my target 1. So here I want to target this particular machine. So add it to the target. So you can observe it is being added to the target 1. Host 47 is added to target 1. Now, who is my next target? Now, see, if the default gateway is going to send the information, right? I want to fool that as well. I want to make sure that comes to the hacker first and then to the machine. So for that reason, I'm going to add this particular thing, the router as my target 2. Can you see? It is added to the target 1 and target 2. Now, once we add our target, now what we have to do? We have to select the man in the middle menu. So for that, we will scroll up. Here you can see man in the middle menu. Just click on this. Here there are a number of poisoning, guys. We are studying about ARP poisoning. So we will click on ARP poisoning here. The moment you click on ARP poisoning, sniff the remote connection, click OK. The moment you do that, some activity is happening here. Can you see ARP poisoning victim starts? So once this is done, now what you have to do? Now I will go back to my terminal. Now what I will do? I will rerun this ARP-A command. This will now show you the ARP cache. Observe. What is the ARP cache? Can you observe here? This was our gateway, right? 1.1. For this, the physical address was D6. But here, what are we getting? We are getting the physical address as BC. Who has this physical address? This is the address of your virtual machine. So now what you have done? You have fooled it. You are saying that this is the MAC address there. You have played around with the Archim cache. I hope you're getting it. Is this clear? Is this clear, guys? See what we have done here. We were supposed to get the MAC address of our gateway, but we are not getting it. Why? Because we have done what? We have done some setting here. We are using an ettercap tool using which we are making our virtual machine to be an evil hacker. And we have sent this particular MAC address to this particular gateway. Now your computer is seeing this is the IP address. Okay, but this is the physical address. So the data is going to flow from this particular machine. I hope you're getting it. Okay. Now let's say what I will do. I'll go here in Chrome. And here now what I will do, I will open any website. Which website I'm going to open? I'm going to open a website which is not secured. What I'm going to do, I'm going to open any website on the target computer. Now this is my computer which I'm targeting. So here let's say I will open one website called as test vulnerable. So here you can see this is an not secure website. So here let's say I'm going to go to the login page. And here I will add some login this thing. So let me write XYZ as the username and the password as 1234. I'll just click on login. So now you can just check in your ettercap. Are you getting the content? So the content is now moving through this ettercap tool. So in this way you can hack, okay? You can hack those web pages which are not secured. Clear? Clear about EtherCap tool, guys? Any doubts here? So what we studied here, we basically studied about how to hack, okay, a computer, how to hack basically an app cache and trick a victim into sending us their data. Then we can extract their passwords, files, and other credential information, right? See, here the thing is the host is your computer, Hemant. If it is a secure web page, it will not happen. See, that is what, let me add one a point here so that things become very easy for you to understand. So basically, see, it's very scary, right? If when people try to, uh, fool you by sending their MAC address so that, they come in between you and the gateway to check your data. So this type of attack happens when? This type of attacks happens to those websites which are not secured, right? You should use a proper protocols. This will happen to HTTP, FTP, Telnet, right? So this website, these protocols, whenever you are using these type of protocols which are not secured, where the data is not encrypted, those websites can be attacked using this tool. So that is the reason, these protocols are now secure. These protocols are modified and we have something called as HTTPS, FTPS, and so on. So that, people cannot fool you and you cannot get the data from your side. So things have changed rapidly, guys. Okay. So this is one of the prime example of why you shouldn't use insecure protocols. Nowadays, everything is encrypted so that, such attacks are not going to happen. But a person who is not smart enough will always become a victim of it. I hope you're getting it. Okay. Jimmy wants me to repeat. Okay, fine. I will repeat it. See, here basically what we are doing is that, let me just summarize the points. We are doing something called as address resolution protocol. Using this, we are going to poison something. What we are going to poison? Let's say there are two systems which are connected to the same network. For Wi-Fi, there is going to be something else, Shreya. This is for the local area network. Okay. So basically, what we are doing here is that, let's say this particular machine A and B are connected to the same network. So whenever this host A wants to send the data or receive the data from the server, he needs its MAC address. He needs the MAC address of its gateway, default gateway. Let's say the gateway here is a router. So what this particular machine is going to do, he is going to broadcast this IP address. Yes, of course, Arya, you can do that. So what he will do, he will send a broadcast message saying that what is the MAC address of this particular IP address. Because in address resolution protocol, we use the MAC address. Okay. And using the MAC address only, we are going to, with the associated MAC address, we will be having the IP address, and that information will be stored in the ARP cache. That is address resolution protocol cache. So that, the data can be sent easily. So what happens? He will send a message to all the systems which are connected to this network. What is the MAC address of this particular IP address? So when B sees it, he will discard it because this is not the IP address. This message is not concerned to him. But if he is an evil hacker, what will happen? He will send some messages to A saying that he is the default gateway and he will send his MAC address. Now, corresponding to this IP address, the MAC address will be stored in the ARP cache so that A can easily send and receive the data through the default gateway. But since this evil hacker has tricked A by sending his MAC address. So what happened now? This evil hacker will come in between this particular person and the gateway. So now this person, whenever he accesses any website, right, or anything, that data will now move from, this evil hacker will be able to know. Why? Because it is moving through this. So to do that, he can use a tool called as EtherCap. So here to understand how this EtherCap works, first we will open our Windows. We will record the IP address and the default gateway here by using the command as ipconfig. To see its ASP cache, we will use this particular thing. So here in this cache, initially we will be having the IP address of this particular gateway and its MAC address. Similarly, now what we will do, we will select the evil hacker as our Kali Linux. What we are doing, we are selecting the Kali Linux as our evil hacker. He is now going to send his MAC address to this Windows. How he is doing it? Using the EtherCap tool. So here you can observe when I open the EtherCap. Now let's say I want to stop this and do it from the beginning. What I have to do? Delete the host. Stop the sniffing. The moment you stop the sniffing, you can observe here, it is telling unified sniffing was stopped. Let's I'll just close this. I've closed everything. Okay. So I'll go to this Kali Linux icon. Here you just type EtherCap graphical. The moment you click on it, it will ask you for authentication. Authenticate it. The moment you authenticate it, now you can see this particular tool. Here you have to select the primary interface to Ethernet. If you are doing it on Wi-Fi, you can change it to Wi-Fi connection as well. Click on accept option. The moment you click on accept option, this particular tool will open. Now here what we are going to do, go towards the right side. First check the host. Scan for the host. Check how many hosts are connected to this network. Now you can observe for my network, there are 4 hosts. One of the system have shut down. So I have only 4 hosts. Let's assume that. So now if I want to list, see this depends. Okay, this need not be same for you. It depends upon the number of systems which are connected to your network. This number will depend on that. You may have 1, you may have 2. Okay, minimum you will have 2. Check yourself. Okay. Then once you do that, next what I have to do, I have to go to the MM. Okay, first I will list the hosts. Once you list it, you can see here all the hosts. So this 1.1 is your gateway and this 47 is my machine which has this particular MAC address. So now what I will do, I will add this as the target one. Then I will select this one, the gateway also as target 2. The moment I add them, you can see here added to the target 1 and target 2. Yes, Arya, phones can also be a part of it. Target 1 and target 2. So you have to be careful, okay, when you are adding the targets. Then you can just click on the start or stop. It was stopped. I want to start it. So let me just click on start. It is starting. Let me just redo this. Add it to the target 1. This one as target 2. After adding it to target 1 and target 2, what I have to do? These hosts are added. So the same thing you can check in your terminal by using app cache. So now we are getting it as D6, correct? Which step did I miss? Okay. Now you can see when I do app cache, I am getting the IP address of default gateway and the MAC address of default gateway itself. This is D6. D6 is nothing but, you can see it is the MAC address of my default gateway itself. Now to make it as your Kali Linux, what I have to do here, I have to start, go to this particular menu and do ARP poisoning. Unless and until you do this, it will not be reflected. So do this, snif remote connection. Okay, the moment you do that, it will do ARM poisoning victims. These are the victims which are poisoned. So now when you go back to the terminal and check for that, you should be able to see ARP-A. Now this is changed to BC, which is nothing but the MAC address of our machine. Yes, Arya, you can check in Wireshark the entire, what all things you're doing, changes, this traffic, entire thing you can observe in Wireshark as well. So now in this particular thing, website, you do anything. If you open any, unsecure website, and if you're typing something, let's say now this time I'll write TWE, let me write twinkle. And here I will add something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like this. Login, that information will now be collected here. Because this is now in between your default gateway and your computer. I hope everyone is clear with this. Yes? Are you asking about the link of yesterday's session? Hemant, web scraper link you are asking? Google Colab link? Or this link you are asking for this particular website? Okay, let me just send the go to the chat box, particular link. Okay, I've sent in the chat box here. You can open any insecure page here. Fine? Okay then. It's already 6:03, so I'll do one thing. I will stop here for today. I will be sending you this PPT, okay, and I will write the steps as well for the EtherCap. People who have not done it, please do it. And I will see you guys in Saturday session. Okay, in Saturday session, if you are facing any difficulty, I will do it once again. Fine. So this entire PPT, whatever we have studied in this 8 days period, right? I will be sharing it with you so that you people can do the revision as well. Yeah, it will be sent in the WhatsApp group itself. No problems, Sai Dinesh. I will send the Google Colab link as well so that you can go through it. Fine. Okay, then I'll stop here for today. Thank you, guys.